Hey, this is a saga about obtaining records for the Constable Stacy Hickman that you'll see, and how big of a runaround it is to try to get certain records. But I want to start out by reading a couple articles real quick, and then we'll move on to the video. This one's from Johnson City Press in October 23rd of 2019. It's an article out of Tennessee. But here we go. Although their primary responsibility is to serve civil warrants, Tennessee's elected constables have the same authority under the state's judicial system as other law enforcement officers, including the ability to make arrests. But of late, local constables are making news for not for conducting arrests, but for being the subject of one. October 2nd, a Johnson County constable is charged with child abuse and neglect. October 1st, a Sullivan County constable is indicted for signing off on court documents that he did not serve. That's how they get paid. On October 1st, a Washington County constable is indicted on auto burglary and theft charges. On August 12th, a Sullivan County constable is indicted on multiple charges after allegedly lying about serving court documents. On February the 8th, a Hawkins County constable faces felony charges for conducting a traffic stop with blue lights and detaining his suspect before he took office. That's just this year. Last year, a Carter County constable was indicted for aggravated assault and oppression, and a Jefferson County constable was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison for conspiring to distribute oxycodone. So that's just part of this article. It also goes on to say no police or sheriff department would hire someone off the street for law enforcement duties, but all it takes to be on the ballot for constables to be 21, a non-felon, have at least a GED, and be able to read and write. And until last year, you could strap on a gun and start patrolling the streets, and by the end of the year, complete a 1 week law enforcement training course, and you were good to go for life. And things have changed a little bit from that part, but there's another article, but y'all bear with me. All right, and the title of this article from Johnson City Press in Tennessee is titled Stricter Standards, Less Authority for Constables. I'm going to read a section out of it too. All right. Constables in Tennessee must provide their own uniforms, vehicles, and fuel, and don't have to undergo the same level of training required of other law enforcement officers, nor do they earn much of a living. They receive no salary and are compensated only for delivering legal documents and similar endeavors. So why would someone want to be a constable? Perhaps because they covet the power it gives them. Constables are handed the authority of a professional LEO, a position for which they otherwise might not be qualified. They answer to no one but the voters at the next election. They are not supervised. They do not report to anyone. And you can run for constable in Tennessee if you've not been convicted of offering or giving a bribe of larceny or other offense declared infamous by law. That's pretty much it. Get elected and you can have arrest powers without passing police minimum standards, psychological tests, and specialized schools. And that's why we have situations such as what afflicts Constable William Creasy II of Hawkins County. And it goes on, but that's just a section of that article I wanted to read. Let's get on to the video. I appreciate y'all being here. Hey everybody, welcome back to the HPR News Channel. Appreciate you being here. I'm at the Marion County Election Commission in Marion County. And I'm going in here to submit records requests regarding the coward constable I had an encounter with named Stacy Hickman, Constable number 95 of District 1. So let's see how this goes. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Who would I need to see about getting some records requests submitted?
I can give you a form and you can fill it out.
All right, sounds like a winner. And I would do those records requests for a constable here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you can fill out all that information.
All right. Can I use this table right over here to do so? All right, thank you. All right, guys, y'all bear with me. I'm gonna get this record request filled out. I got this complaint form filled out for to inspect the oath that the constable swore into.
You swore an oath to the Constitution to protect constitutional rights?
Of certain parts, yes, sir.
Only certain parts?
Well, yes, sir, because basically laws that you observe all Tennessee laws that are allowed.
The record of the salary for year 22 and year 23 to current, and the record of number of complaints filed against him. All right. Okay, I think I have everything I need. I filled out there accordingly.
Okay, let me get you a copy of this.
Okay, could I get it? There, yep. And what is your name, ma'am?
Tina.
Thank you, Tina. So would his personnel be jacket be on site here, or is that kept somewhere else?
His what?
Personnel jacket, like his file folder. You know what I'm saying? Like, there should be a record of his file.
We have the record of the election stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't, keep any records on the constables as far as.
So if someone were want to lodge a complaint against him, where would that be filed? Who would that be filed with? Do you know? Just curious.
I'm not quite sure on that.
Okay.
I'll get that information to you. Do you have a phone number? We need to get your information so we can get this and give it back to you.
All right. What I'll do is I'll put an email there because I don't have a phone number that I can put there. You can contact me with the response through email. It should be fine.
Where's your email?
I'll put it on here.
Okay.
All right. Could you make sure you can read that email okay? Because I don't want there to be any confusion. I have bad handwriting.
Pig roaster.
Roaster, R-O-A-S-T-E-R.
Roaster1@proton.me.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, we got some tax-paid candy. Or it's probably come out of somebody's pocket if I had to guess, but I will take it. 7 more days till Halloween, y'all. Okay, and do you know how many days it is for me to get a response regarding the public
30
record?
days, but
To even get a
it'll be before
response?
that.
Okay, sure.
It'll be
Sounds
before
great.
that. And I'll try to find out who,
About where I could file a complaint if I needed to.
who you file a complaint to.
One of my requests there is the number of complaints on him, but if there's not a place where it may be a commission somewhere else, an oversight board or something that's not even here maybe.
Who that person is. We'll find out who
All
that
right.
person is.
I thank you for your help.
Not a problem.
All right, you have a wonderful day, okay? Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
All better than I deserve, thank you. All right, guys. So we've got that submitted, and we'll see how that turns out.
I'll look and see if I can find the oath that he filed, because it's been a couple of years since he ran, but I'll find that oath for you. As far as any complaints, we don't keep records of complaints. If he gets complaints, I don't know where those would be filed, but you would have to go find those elsewhere. We don't keep record. If there's complaints, they're not made through this office. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but since this is the place I go to get public record on him, I would think that would be, since I'm requesting that would be on y'all to research and find out about that instead of me to have to go and do that.
With public records requests, the way that works, if we don't keep those records here, we don't have to produce records that we don't keep. So when you request stuff through our office, we can give you what we have, what we keep.
I understand what you're saying.
But it's not our duty to research complaints if it's with another.
I understand that. A lot of Tennessee Public Records Act is kind of crazy. A lot of places, you can give a complaint for any government entity to any department that's not even that entity, and they're supposed to deal with getting, maybe not producing it, but getting it to the proper channels and to the person that's requesting it from said entity. So I'm going to check into a little deeper into the Tennessee Public Records Act to find out exactly how that goes. And I'm hearing very clearly what you're saying. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but like, could you suggest to me, for instance, where maybe I would go to seek where a
I would
complaint?
check with the Justice Department.
Okay.
Because I would think if there's complaints being made on him, that would go through
Through
the
them.
police department.
Well, I talked to Sheriff Bo Burnett about getting any public records on him, and he's the one that directed me that I would need to do all that here. So. I do have a question for you. I run into the constable, number 95. I don't know.
Give me a name.
We have
5 in this county.
Stacy Hickman. He owns a gun shop, pawn shop down there. And I was just asking him, like, am you personable, engaged in conversation, trying to find out exactly what a constable is and the roles and.
Well, they serve a lot of. They're elected.
He told me he's elected, non-paid.
They serve a lot of civil paper, but as far as out here doing criminal stuff, they don't do any of that.
Do they do traffic stops?
Not that I'm aware of.
Now, he told me that they do get dispatched on occasion to do some calls of service. Occasionally, he
Yeah,
said.
very occasionally. Like usually helping us escort funerals, because we still escort funerals.
If it's a non-paid by the tax dollar, no salary on the tax dollar, he's still getting paid somehow, though, right? Like serving
Civil
papers. Okay.
So you get every civil paper they
when he does
serve,
his process,
he gets $40 for
$40
each
for each one he does.
Well, you serve what, 10 a week, and make a little side job, make some good money out of it.
I thought it was funny because I was having a good conversation with him, and he asked me my name, and I just said, he called me upstanding citizen, and I asked him his name, and he gave Stacy, and I asked him his badge number, and he got really in his feelings. I guess because
some of these officers.
Let me tell you what he said. He said he started walking off, and he turned back around and tried to trespass me, even though I was on that sidewalk with multiple business at the laundromat. And I said, on what grounds? And he said, I'm in fear. And I was like, what was he in fear? I mean, that was ridiculous. It honestly was.
I tell these officers,
There's nothing to be
hey,
in fear
somebody
of.
comes up and say, hey, who you work for? American County Sheriff's Department. Hey, what's your name? Just tell him your name.
And he did, but he just wanted me to run me off, and I asked his badge number. He didn't want me to know it.
I don't know.
Where would I get any public record about him?
See, I don't know. He actually doesn't work for me. I would guess probably the election commission.
Election commission, probably. I thought about
But
that
see,
too,
I don't have any. They're elected. Constables was something we had years and years ago.
You can get,
I don't want to be.
You can get his oath here, but I don't have a record of any complaints on Stacy.
Okay.
Or any constable for that matter.
So with all 5 district constables, I would, if I wanted to get something on them as
Their
far as their
oaths.
oaths
Yeah, I
and
have
things of
that.
that nature, I would get it here. Okay.
As far as his salary, I don't have that either because they're not paid for the role of constable.
I know, but they get paid for process serving and.
That would be through the sheriff's
Through
department
them.
as well. Because
Okay.
they're the ones that.
Well, maybe they will be able to help me with the complaints, but it just seems like that's kind of my issue with the constable thing. They don't really have oversight over them. They're not like directly supervised. And in my opinion, I'm not trying to bend y'all's ear too much. I think it's an outdated thing, and he treated me horribly just for recording and asking him simple questions like I am. You really treated me crazy. So if I want to complain on him, I want to be able to get that record, and I also want to know where I get them. But I'll try to seek those avenues.
I would go to the sheriff's
I'll
department.
do.
If you
I'll
have
go over
any
there now.
complaints, you would complain to them, and I would think if any complaints were made on him,
Okay.
they would probably have that.
Okay. That's where I'll be going right
As far as his
now.
salary, he doesn't have anything that he files to us.
Except
what is it good for his oath?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want me to?
I got
get
that. I have that email there. It's
You just want me to email a
That would
copy
be
of
great.
Okay.
It's-
I can do that. That's no problem.
It's pigroaster1 at proton.me. It might be hard to read because I write like a 3rd grader.
I'll try to get this to you before the end of the day. If
That's
not,
awesome.
It'll be tomorrow. Okay?
And thanks for all the other information. I'm trying to be helpful. And did I already ask you your name? I think I did.
Nicole.
Nicole, I appreciate that, Nicole. Y'all have a wonderful day. I don't know if it's really hot in here, if it's just because I've been out doing it. All right, guys. Looks like I might get a run around on some of this. But at least she was trying to be helpful, but you know how it is. As you see here, I got the record of his oath of office that he swore to and signed his name to. And the portion I have circled says, I solemnly swear to support the constitutions of Tennessee and the United States.
You swore an oath to the Constitution to protect constitutional rights?
Of certain parts, yes, sir.
Only certain parts?
And he quite possibly may be the only one that has worse handwriting than me. They also stated they don't have the record of his earned income, so watch out for part 2 for this continuing saga.
Hey! What are you trying to do? You ruined my record, man. I just bought it.
And y'all remember to be good at it, and don't forget nothing tastes better than a hillbilly pig. Gross. I said that all crazy, but you know what I meant. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.